You see, Wolf Blitzer, he didn't get the memo. He obviously didn't get the email in the morning about Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States of America. You're not supposed to ask questions like this, Wolf. You're not supposed to question her on why she's not making a deal with the president. Come on. You just got removed from Speaker Pelosi's Christmas card list. Sorry, you get nothing. So the Blitz is asking Pelosi about this stimulus package. And basically, on the face, just like everything else with the Democrats, there's a nugget of real truth. And then they build the poison pill into it. Happens every single friggin' time. All the time. Well, it's for the children. It's for the women's. It's for minorities. It's for grandma. You're going to throw her off you're going to wheel her off a hill and make her eat cat food, that evil Trump. Same shit all the time. Never changed. Hasn't changed for decades. Don't you care about children? Don't you think those things matter? Etc. and so on. And we're talking about people who have been affected by the current situation. As you know, a few months ago, the president and Congress put together a package, and people were getting checks and various other things to help with the situation, because this is obviously very unusual, right? Hasn't happened like this for 100 years. Yeah, well, I don't count that thing when Obama was president. Don't talk about that. So they're trying to come together and get a bill going to another stimulus, right? So people get money, cash, various things, because people are out of work. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people can't work because the plants are closed down, or where they go to work, they can't, et cetera, and so on. So it certainly sounds good on the surface. Yeah, we need to help these people. And by the way, Speaker Pelosi, I don't want a check. Send it to somebody who needs it. I'm doing fine. Thank you. That's the idea generally with Trump's plan. We're going to take this money. We're going to target it at people who have been most affected, give them some cash to get by, unemployed, all that stuff, so they don't get kicked out of their house or stuff like that. I mean, it seems reasonable to me, but not to Pelosi. Because she's going to sit there and say, wow, don't you care about the children? Don't you care about this and that and such? Well, her plan isn't exactly as advertised. Take it away, Wolfy.
As you know, there are Americans who are being evicted from their homes. They can't pay the rent. Many Americans are waiting in food lines for the first time in their lives. Can you look them in the eye, Madam Speaker, and explain why you don't want to accept the president's latest stimulus offer?
Wolfy, what? When did he grow a set of balls? What's going on here? What? You're questioning the queen? Are you, Wolf? You can't ask her these questions. It should be, why do you think Trump is such an asshole that he won't agree to your plan? That's more like it. No. Excuse me, why aren't you agreeing with Trump? Oh my God, Wolf. Do you still have a job? I'm curious.
Well, because, thank you very much, Wolf, and I hope you'll ask the same question of the Republicans about why they don't really want to meet the needs of the American people.
She didn't say, why do meet the needs of the American people? Do a Bill Clinton thumb. I feel your pain, you Americans.
But let me say to those people, because all of my colleagues, we represent these people. I have for over 30 years.
Being a congressperson means you do have I think Nancy doesn't know what to say at the moment. What do you think?
Represented my constituents. Yeah. I know what their needs are.
Oh, that's rich.
Listen.
Like you are, Nancy. You know what the average person's going through, don't you?
To them, and their needs are not addressed in the president's proposal.
Really? You're planning on handing out money to people who may be getting evicted, or maybe can't feed their kids, or maybe they can't work because of the situation. You're not meeting the needs of people. How? Again? I think we're about to find out.
So when you say to me, why don't you accept theirs? Why don't they accept ours?
Because you're not dealing with George W. Bush. You're not dealing with rhinos who essentially were Democrats and called themselves Republicans. You're dealing with Trump. He made his fortune, I guess, whatever he has, negotiating deals. You're so accustomed to Republican presidents. If you call them a name, they're going to roll over. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I need to sign the bill because I don't want to be called an R or an S or a whatever. Trump doesn't give a shit. Call him what you want. He doesn't care. It's like, here's my deal. This is what I want. And if I don't get it, I'm not going to sign the bill. I know.
Our legislation is there to do three things primarily.
She doesn't exactly reveal herself totally, but I think you're going to get a gist of it.
To honor our workers, honor our heroes, our healthcare workers, our police and fire first responders, our teachers, our transportation, sanitation, food workers, the people who make our lives work.
So to put together a bill to honor these people, what does that mean? It's just words on a bill that Trump would sign in a heartbeat. But that's not what we're talking about, is it? Nasty?
We couldn't be doing what we're doing without them. Many of them have risked their lives so that to save lives, and now they will lose their jobs because Mitch McConnell says let the states go bankrupt.
Excuse me. The people who are fighting this, frontline people, doctors, nurses, assistants, all of these people that are literally putting their lives on the line to help people who acquire this, right? We hear from the news media all the time, nasty, hundreds, if not thousands of people every day coming down with the you-know-what. Why would doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals be losing their jobs in the middle of this? I would like to have you explain that to me because I don't understand your point. But she's not talking about that. She's talking about state workers.
Excuse me for
Let the
interrupting,
states go bankrupt.
Madam Speaker, but they really need the money right now. And even members of your own...
I understand that,
but even members of your own caucus...
Question,
even members of your own caucus, Madam Speaker, want to accept this deal. $1.8 trillion. Congressman Ro Khanna, for example. But let me just quote Ro Khanna, a man you know well. I assume you admire him. He's a Democrat. And he just said this. He said, people in need can't wait until February. $1.8 trillion is significant and more than twice the Obama stimulus.
Obama. Remember all those shovel-ready jobs? Remember all that infrastructure, roads, bridges, highways, airports? Remember all that? Well, we're going to pass the stimulus. It's shovel-ready jobs. We're going to build all these roads, infrastructure, et cetera, and so on. Still I-25 out here to my east is fall. Shh. We need to use that to run on. What's Biden promising? A side note here. What's Biden promising? We're going to invest in roads, bridges, highways, airports. I thought we did that like 12 years ago. Anyway, I'm sorry. A tangent.
Make a deal. Put the ball in McConnell court. So what do you say to Ro Khanna?
It's like she is the leader of the House of Representatives. She could pass whatever friggin' bill. She has the majority. Pass whatever bill you want and throw it over to the Senate. Then you'd have a political point. Oh, you hate children. You hate old people. You hate women, et cetera, and so on. They're not. Why not? Why do you think that is? Why?
what I say to you is, I don't know why you're always an apologist. And many of your colleagues apologize for the Republican position.
Oh, Nancy's getting worked up now. Why are you always apologizing for the Republican position? See, Wolfy, you didn't get the memo as we discussed earlier. You're not supposed to ask her why she is not agreeing with the president. You're supposed to ask her, Speaker Pelosi, why is it that Donald Trump is such a prick that he wants to see kids starve to death and people get put out of their homes and businesses going bankrupt? Why? Why is he so evil? That's what you're supposed to ask. Not, why aren't you agreeing with Trump? And now he's a Republican apologist. God.
Ro Khanna, that's nice. That isn't what we're going to do, and nobody's waiting till February.
But we do want to push it off until after Election Day, don't we? Because, people getting a big check in the mail from Donald Trump. It's...
I want this very much now.
Yeah, except not before Election Day, aside from that.
Because people need help now.
Yeah, but you're not talking about people. Nancy.
But it's no use giving them a false thing just because the president wants to put a check with his name on it in the mail.
Bingo!
That we should not be doing all we can to help people pay the rent, put food on the table, to enhance benefits, that they don't lose their jobs if they're state and local.
Did you catch that? Let me play it back for you. Listen carefully.
That we should not be doing all we can to help people pay the rent, put food on the table, to enhance benefits, that they don't lose their jobs if they're state and local, if they're state and local, if they're state and local.
Aha! It's important that they don't lose their jobs if they're state and local. Government.
If they're state and local.
That's right. The entire thrust of Pelosi's bill is to bail out governments. In blue states, of course, like her own California. She's not talking about doctors and nurses, say, down at UC Health over here or at Banner, private industry. They're plenty busy. They've got a lot to do. However, if we don't pass this bill, some state and local government workers might lose their jobs. Oh my God. Well, we can't have that.
We're talking about the consequences of a pandemic, the symptoms of a problem that the president refuses to address.
See, he doesn't care about people. For if he did, he would sign this bill and we would give California $500 billion in bailout money. And Illinois might get a slice of that pie too, because, their retirement systems are going bankrupt. See, Trump doesn't care about the children, does he, Nancy?
But
and that is the virus.
We know the problem out there.
Yes, we know what's going on, Nancy. Thank you for saying nothing. Yes, I just slept under a rock for the last 10 months. What's going on? Why are all these places closed? How stupid do you think we are? Nasty. How stupid? How much contempt do you have for average Americans? Why are you holding people hostage? Why aren't you helping people now who can't pay the rent, who can't feed their kids? They can't go to work because the kid. Why aren't you doing that now, Nancy? Because that's not what she really wants to do. She wants to bail out the blue states. She wants to keep the state and local government workers from being laid off. What a shock. I'll put the link below. James Maxwell. Thank you for listening.